I don't believe that 6% body fat is attainable by a psychologically normal human being. I don't think you can do that. I don't think people will intentionally abuse themselves, to that extent for that long, for the length of time it takes to get down that low. You can do a real
you
hard
can't stay there
cut.
very long.
No, hours, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
one
these
day
guys
I
will
would
all
peak.
tell you that the afternoon of the Olympia is how long they were in that kind of shape.
No question.
That day.
That day. So I
That
would
day.
try to, we would peak right at the show.
Because it's a combination of low body fat, dehydration, and the correct dehydration, not the kind that dehydrates muscle bellies, but the kind that pulls that last little bit of water out from under the skin and stuff to show the vascularity. And, but this is people think, these kids think they can walk around like that all the time. And nobody walks around like that all the time.
Get big. No, that's, just get huge. Get so massive and strong. I always wanted
20-inch arms, get 27-inch thighs, That's what you need to think about. Big, giant traps, big piles of muscle behind your ears. And that's what you need to do. And I keep telling them that in order to do this, you're going to have to eat 5,000 calories a day. And then they say, well, what about my body fat?
Yeah. So my son was 195 last year. He's 17. He was 16 when this started. He was 195. He's 251 a year later.
Wow.
And he eats, we're spending like almost $500 a week on his food.
Just feeding his ass.
He eats at least 10 bricks. I think the bricks are a pound or a pound and a half of grass-fed ground beef a week, at least 10. He eats a couple boxes of pasta. So here's the day. This is what you got to eat. He eats a huge bowl of pasta and beef for breakfast. Then I pack him a huge thing of pasta and beef or rice, usually pasta and beef for lunch. Then before practice, I come pick up my little one at the school, and my oldest comes out. I have him 2 big sandwiches ready with breaded chicken patties, pork roll, which I don't know if they have pork roll in Texas, but it's
I know what it is.
Canadian bacon.
Right.
Canadian bacon, a bunch of cheese. I bring him 2 of those. He eats those before practice. Then when I pick him up, I have him beef and pasta, and then he eats one more beef meal before he goes to bed. It's usually beef and pasta. Again, that's a lot of eating, man.
Yes, that's tired jaws.
Yeah,
but
that's what it takes.
It's what it takes, and a lot of people don't understand that. Yeah, it's uncomfortable at first, but you get used to it. You get used to the eating. You get used to the eating, but they can't bring themselves to face the fact that you have to eat more than you want to if you want to get big and strong. More than you want to. Your desire for food cannot be the thing that drives how much you eat. Because nobody's got an appetite like that,
No.
Nobody's got an appetite like that. You just have to, this is a math problem. How many calories and how many grams of protein do I need to eat per day? And then at night, when you get there and you're still short 1,000 calories and 100 grams of protein, well, I'm sorry you fucked up. You didn't eat that before now, so you got to eat it now. But this is what's required. This is just a math problem. And the way you feel about it is irrelevant. But teaching them this, first off, you have to get them past the idea that abs are what they're training for.
Yeah, because you got those abs. If you wanted down the road to do like I did, stop powerlifting, and I never trained abs in my life, and I had abs.
Right.
Because I was doing those deadlifts and squats all the freaking time.
Right. Abs don't come
abs
from sit-ups.
Yes.
Abs don't come from sit-ups, boys and girls. Abs come from squats and presses and deadlifts and things that hold your spine stable. That's where abs come from. They don't come from sit-ups. You can do setups all day long and not develop any abs, but you get your deadlift up to 700 with a flat back, your abs have worked. And they just can't wrap their head around this.
No, it's true. And so you can always go back because they're going to be there. But to develop the hugeness that you need to be on stage as a bodybuilder,
yes.
you got to gain some weight, man. You cannot. All these guys, and so I know who some of these guys are on YouTube now because of my kids, but they're like, look at this, and I wrote this in an article. Look at this guy, and I'm like, he's 147 pounds. You know what I mean? That's what they used to say. Now my kids say it a little differently, but I'm like, but look how ripped I'm like, man, come on. Dude,
people in Ethiopia are ripped
to shreds.
Ripped to shreds.
And their backs are all rounded with 225 on the deadlift, and I'm like, dude, come on, man.
They're just
so it's
misconceptions just run rampant throughout this whole entire industry. And join us this Friday on Starting Strength Radio. We're going to be talking with our friend Jim Steele about various topics. And Jim's an entertaining guy, and he's the same mind that we are, and we'll be happy to talk to Jim this coming Friday on Starting Strength Radio. Jim, thank you for being with us.
I appreciate you having me. I'm honored. Love this podcast.
And we'll wait for you guys to join us this Friday on Starting Strength Radio. See you then.